Sapo Mama Simatonorim, Jurka Timorim, Sapo Mama Simatonorim, Sapo Mama Simatonorim, Jurka Timorim, Sapo Mama Simatonorim.
Hi, my name is Amy Wan, and I come from the Tohono O'odham Nation. And today we are standing here at the 75-mile stretch of border that the Tohono O'odham Nation shares with the United States and Mexico. And so we're on the U.S. side, and just right on this side is the Mexico side. And this is a dividing line between our communities, our people, that has affected a lot of things through our history, like our language, our culture, our family ties, our access to sacred sites and ceremonies. And so it's pretty significant to talk about and to acknowledge in our history and about what we're talking about in terms of veterans. Not a lot of people know that O'odham, served in different branches of the military. Some who didn't have birth certificates because they were born in Mexico or because they were born on the land were still able to serve in the military. So in the early 90s, there was actually a push for O'odham who served in the military to be recognized as U.S. citizens, but also to have dual citizenship, because we come from both sides of the line. We don't recognize the border as something that makes us any different as O'odham. And so that's a big part of my history. And so when I think about veterans, I think about those people. I think about our people who fought for us, for O'odham, for us to be safe and to be protected, but who also weren't, but who did it without, who did it selflessly, I guess you would say, even without the credentials that they supposedly needed to fight in a U.S. war. And I think that they come from a long line of warriors.
So I'm not going to cry, but I might cry. Veterans Day is very personal to me and my family, only because, so we have a family of veterans. A lot of us, Native people know that our tribal members have really volunteered at a higher rate than any other group of people in the military, and have sacrificed a lot of lives, a lot of their spirits. We have people that come back and have changed. There are warriors. It's in our ceremonies and such. They're elevated to a different level, and they're given a different level of respect, and have a different role in our ceremonies. So it's really important to me that we recognize that and give them the due credit that is due. And we take, and at least in our family, we take every effort to make sure that the veterans in our family are recognized, and we take every opportunity to know that we value what they've given and thankful that they've come home.
Hi, my name is Nino Reyes. I'm a member of the Northern Ute Indian Tribe and Laguna Pueblo. I was born amongst the Ute people in northeastern Utah, where I spent the majority of my adolescent life. And then I went to a Native American boarding school, the United States military. And after the military, had gone to the college in Utah, and now I make my home in Salt Lake City. So veterans to me means a lot of different things. It not only means veterans of the military, because many of the native tribes, they voluntarily gone to the military even before the draft and things like this. So for being a population of it's pretty low, they still have the highest of volunteers.
We don't want to take away anything from all the veterans. We love the veterans, but at the same time, let's acknowledge like the indigenous people who are out there, which has, I think, probably maybe the highest population per capita with, as far as like race in that fight, fighting for this land that's, really their ancestors' land. So yeah, Veterans Day, Warriors Day.
Growing up, I was always taught that it was an important day to honor those who are enlisted into the military. But as I got older, I found that it was also a day to remember our past chiefs and warriors that went out and fought against the U.S. military for their land and for their families' safety.
From our community, going as far back as Bihamache, who was a warrior here on the Tohono O'odham Nation. Before he was even considered the Tohono O'odham Nation, when we were actually considered to be a part of Mexico, he had pledged allegiance to Mexico during the draft of World War I. And so he was a resistance fighter, basically just trying to protect O'odham land and protect O'odham people from fighting wars that weren't ours. And so I think that says a lot about Indigenous or O'odham veterans, is that we're willing to fight for our land and for our people no matter what.
There's a lot of Indigenous people in history who were well known for fighting against settler insurgency on their lands and against their people. So there's a lot of war chiefs and people like that who are basically veterans to us because they were essentially fighting for the survival of Indigenous people, to preserve the land so it wasn't taken over, preserve all the resources that we use here. So that's pretty much what Veterans Day needs to be.
We had our own warriors here that fought for our land. We had our own people here that fought for what we believe in and for our land. So, I mean, you have to recognize those people. You have to, because that's why we're here. I think right now, like, we still have our battles that are being fought, and not just like in war, but like with like politics and like things that are going on like that, like water, like the rights to who has what kind of land. Like this is a real big picture to really think about, and it sucks. Like, it really does suck to to think of it that way. Like, we shouldn't really even have to fight for our land if it really belonged to us in the first place, Joy good no wanga wanga sama mo mo chuking wo shan him kamu tono wo him joy good no wanga sama mo chuking mo joy good no wanga sama mo mo chuking wo shan him kamu tono wo him joy good to know we're still here. Like, that's kind of the upside of it. It's like, you know, we're still here. Like, people like me, like you, like it's just like we're here, and that really shows like our how far we've come. Like from the battles that were being fought, like that, you know, even though they tried to like take that from us, take our identity from us, or take our culture and everything from us, that we're still here and still practicing, still singing these songs, and still showing out for our home and for our land and for our culture. You know, like some of it is lost, and it sucks to say that, and that's like the honest truth. And some of it is lost, but you know, we're still here.
I really wish that we had more, and I'll go back to the word warriors. I really wish that we had more warriors on the front lines to take care of our lands. You know, there's so much of our lands that are being taken advantage of, and I say that nicely. And are used in ways that it shouldn't be used. Obviously, you know, mining and such, you know, it brings in funds for money for, you know, big corporations and such, and it makes a lot of people a lot of money. And I can't speak for all, so I'm not speaking for all tribal people, but, you know, for some tribes, it causes a lot of division. You know, and I'm thankful that, you know, for the tribe that I'm enrolled with, and the tribe that I'm of, that it's not an issue. Though I feel like we continue to ward off, you know, people that are trying to take advantage of our land, that we're constantly trying to protect, you know, and it's across the board, all tribes, all reservations, that we just need more warriors, we need more voices, we need more people to stand up and protect our lands.
I think people who are moved to be land defenders and water protectors, you know, these are warriors who have that warrior spirit and who are willing to do what it takes to protect the land, to protect the water, and to protect the people. And I know that a lot of times some people don't agree with their tactics, but I think that if we go back to how our communities used to work, you know, everybody had their role, and these warriors, you know, they were allowed to leave home, and they were allowed to go and to defend, but they were also supported by community when they came back, to help them go through ceremony, to cleanse themselves, and to make sure that they come back home in a good way and become a part of the community again, in a way that's not going to hurt anybody else from what they went through. So, and not to be scared, you know, not to have any fear. And it does take a lot of that being out here on the Tohono O'odham Nation. I don't know if you can see, there's a Border Patrol agent who just went by. And so, you know, those are the people that we have to defend ourselves against and defend the land against. And when we do that, we have to be smart in different ways. So, and it's a learning process.
I like to share a story, you know, but not through different words, but yet through different sounds of the music. And this song is called "The Buffalo Will Come," and the song "The Buffalo Will Come" is about how we as people can be able to understand the importance of the animal people, and when our time gets tough, we can be strong like the buffalo.